Hello, everyone. This is Coach Russ here. Creek XC 2021. I'm so excited to have your son or daughter be part of the Beavercreek cross country family. So, we had a parent informational meeting in the spring, but wanted to make a video for you to kind of help you. For those of you that are new, you missed a meeting or just need a refresher on things that need to be done. So, this is step one. This is the basic information on things that your son or daughter or athlete yourself that you will need to participate in cross country. So I'm going to make different videos for different parts. So I know some of you returning athletes, you'll be like, I already know that. I don't need that. So, but this is the basic information. I hope that all of you are watching. So step one, for those of you who want to become the Creek XC families, make sure you have bookmarked our Creek XC website. If you click on this little link I have and I'll send out on the paper, you'll see it will go to, hopefully it goes right here in a second. Maybe, possibly. Oh, there we go. So here is our website, as it's going very slowly here. But here's our website with all kinds of links for you. You can see our practice schedule for next week, what needs to be done, kind of the things I want to be going over right there. Some links, some team fees, and some basic information and some videos. Up at the top, you'll see parent information there. That will be very important to you. Well, forms and fees that you need to pick up, spirit wear, injury information, and those type of things. So you'll want to have this website bookmarked because we will be updating that. Pictures and links and information about races, all kinds of things will be on here. So this will be something that you will want to be able to go to at any time. So that's really step one, is make sure you know how to get to our website. So we go back to our form here. The next thing is making sure our final forms and our physicals are up to date. If you don't understand final forms is just basically information about your son or daughter. It's also where you update your physical. And if you click on this link, which we'll go to another one here. If you click on this one, this goes to our high school website. And I'll give it a chance to kind of open up. I'm in my basement right now, so it's a little bit slower. But every athlete needs to have all their information on final forms. You need to make sure you click on cross country. If you know your son or daughter is doing another sport this year, track or basketball, anything else, you can also click on that. You really only have to download the information once. And the other part of that would be the physical forms. And a physical is good for 13 months. It used to be 12. I love that they made it 13. It just makes things easier. I know some of you have to wait for insurance, but you have to have an updated physical before you can start practice, and they're good for 13 months. So let's say, for example, that your son or daughter is a freshman, but in 8th grade, they got their physical last spring for track. That physical will be good all the way until next track season. And so that should be really good on that. So I can see mine is not opening, so I really don't want to redo this whole thing. But I will tell you, this link right here will send you to the high school website. It will tell you how to download the final forms, how to get there, the links. It explains everything on how to do physicals and final forms, and it should answer all your questions on that. So we want to make sure when they show up to practice on Monday that we have our final forms done, and we also have our physical up to date. If you need to get a quick physical, there is a place down the street beside of Main Elementary. You'll see it out there. They'll have a sign that says physicals, $20 or $25. I know that some urgent cares will do them as well, but we really need that physical on file if we're going to allow your son or daughter to practice. Final forms also, the big thing is there's a spot for the student to do a signature. A lot of times you do all the things, but the athlete does not do their student signature, and that means the final forms is not complete. So you need to make sure that your son or daughter goes through and does the student signature part. So as I said, I apologize that my was not opening up very quickly, but the final forms information is there. That will take you to the high school athletic website. It explains everything about final forms and physicals. Okay, Remind is an app that we would like all athletes and parents to put on their phone. It's for the coaches to be able to send out instant information If you've been signed up this summer, you know I'm sending out things constantly. I will probably be sending out this form and actually the link to this video to remind. Remind is just a quick way to get information. So let's say we have a thunderstorm after school, we're going to cancel practice. We'll send out a remind to let you know. There's been a change, the buses, something, information you need instantly. We can use remind to send that out. And how we have remind, if you click on one of these apps, it's based on the year your son or daughter is in this year. So if they are a freshman, if they're a sophomore, junior, senior, they should click on the appropriate one. This is for the athlete should join, but also parents. So a mom and dad could also be on there. So you can have 3 or 4 different people that have the same remind. And like for the seniors, we'll be sending out things about senior night that I know the freshmen and sophomores don't need. So that's kind of important as well. So make sure that you have signed up for Remind, and that will be really important to get important information. My wife has a Shutterfly website, and she will upload photos. It has photos from Creek XC all the way back to 2008 when I started coaching. And we would love for you to become a member of that. She will be posting pictures, but when you take pictures at meets, we would love for you to upload them on our Shutterfly website. So we know you're going to be taking lots of your son or daughter, but also maybe take some of the other kids as well and post them. And I know parents really appreciate that, something to share, especially maybe they couldn't come to a meet. So there's a link to explain how to sign up for Shutterfly. Okay, basic information of what you need to join cross country. We need good running shoes. One of the keys to trying to minimize injuries is being in a proper running shoe. And running shoes are only good for about 300 to 400 miles. And I know some of you are saying that's a lot of miles, but really for these athletes, especially at the varsity level, if they're juniors and seniors, they're putting in 40, 50, some of the boys maybe a little bit more miles a week. So those shoes aren't going to be good for more than a couple months. It's really important. For my athletes, I try to tell them to keep track of the number of miles on their shoe by using the Strava app. But knowing the shoes, because if you're running in worn out or improper shoes, it's the easiest way to get injured, and we are trying to prevent injuries at all costs. We have a partnership with Runners Plus. There's 2 locations. One of them is down by Wright State University in a shopping plaza across from Wright State. And then there's another one down by the Dayton Mall. That's the original one. And you can go to either one. We are having shoe and spike nights all the way from August 6th to I think like the 13th, where you can get a discount and we actually get part of the money back. What they will do, Runners Plus will do, if you take in your old running shoe, they'll look at your shoe, they'll ask you if you're happy with your shoe, and they can find you that shoe that is very similar. They have different price ranges, but they're going to put you in the proper shoe based on your foot. They want to see how your shoe is worn. So they're really trying to fit you with the perfect shoe, and they're going to have different prices. We also ask that our athletes race in spikes. Cross-country spikes are light. We really don't wear them at practice very often. They're just for racing. They allow the kids to go faster, and they look really cool as well. So we really want our athletes to race in cross-country spikes as well. And they will have a different variety of prices and colors and all those different things as well. And so Runners Plus is a great place, but you can also go online and get them as well. If you know the shoe that your son or daughter runs in well, and that they haven't had a lot of problems with injuries, then stick with the same shoe. I love helping Runners Plus and Eric. He does a great job. He's done a lot for us. He sponsors our kids race and a lot of other things. So I always try to give him business. But if you have another place that you get your running shoes, great. But it's really important that they're in a proper running shoe. And they'll need to wear those. And they should not wear their running shoes to school. They might look cool, but they're not to walk around it. Once they've done their 300 or 400 miles, then they can become their walking around shoe because they'll need a new pair of shoes. So that's really important. The most important thing is they can be in is a good running shoe. Water bottle and towel. Being a runner, being an athlete, you really need to stay hydrated, especially in these hot days. They should be bringing a water bottle to practice. It should be filled. They should be drinking it and really constantly carrying their water bottle with them. They need to be hydrating. Whatever kind of water bottle they want to use is fine, but really need to bring that we'll have ways to fill those water bottles as well at practice. And a towel, we're always doing core or some sort of strength drills, and just having a towel that they can carry with them is also really, really important. A watch. Runners need watches. Now, we highly recommend a GPS watch, and a GPS watch will tell them how far they're running, what pace they're running. There are all kinds of basic models. Erica Runners Plus, they have them, and you can get a discount if you go and, as I said, purchase them during our shoe nights coming up. But you can get them anywhere. But GPS watches are great. The athletes like it. We ask them to be on the Strava app, and if they have a GPS watch, how they run will go precisely to their Strava, and it's just a really cool function. But they've become really inexpensive. You can get them for well under $100. But if not, if you don't want to spend the money for a GPS watch, a regular stopwatch on there that you could get for probably $10 will do. I'm sure someone in their group will have a GPS watch, but we do ask that they wear a watch to practice as well. And those are really the basic things. I know for the females, we're going to talk about maybe bringing in some weights to do some body weight things and some dumbbell things at practice. And we'll let the ladies know about that a little bit more as well. Official practice starts Monday, August 2nd. And if I don't know when you're watching this video, we could already be past this date. We already talked about the physicals and forms, and there's the same link right there. Participation fees. All sports and activities at Beavercreek City Schools for the high school level are $250. There is a cap if you have other siblings who are in sports. All that information is there. If you click on the link, it will take you to the high school website. It will explain the cap number. It will explain it is not due until I believe the end of August. It's not even available in early August to be paid yet. But if you have questions, you can talk to the athletic office about that. But that participation fee will need to be paid by the date, or we're not let the athletes play. There are ways to pay for it online by using credit card, or you can pay at the athletic office. Do not bring participation fees to the coaching staff. That's the big thing. We do not want to collect the money. If you're writing checks, those are made out to Beavercreek City Schools, but it will tell you those are paid at the office, the high school office. I don't even think it's paid at the athletic office. You have to pay that at the office in front, or as I said, you can pay by credit card. Now, what we collect as a team, so that's the participation fee of all sports. We have a team fee, $50 for grades 9 through 11 and $65 for seniors. And that is nothing more than covering our costs for your son or daughter. We're getting a long sleeve, dry fit, warm up top, which they have to wear to all meets. It is required. They're getting a practice tank top that they will be wearing a certain day during the week. It covers a few other things, but the cost of a warm up and the tank top alone basically almost covers the cost. Senior fees a little bit higher to cover the end of the season gifts and a few other things. So we are just trying to cover our costs so that we're not asking you for little bits of money throughout the season. Most of your school sports are going to have some sort of team fee. As I said, those checks are made out to the BCCPA. That is our parent organization. It is due by August 9th. I have down here the tournament in the black mailbox at the shed, but since our first week of practice, we are not going to really be up there. We will have probably a member of the BCCPA collecting those checks when your son or daughter comes that first week so that they can turn that in. Make sure you put them in an envelope. I don't recommend paying in cash. If you do, make sure an envelope and the name of that athlete is on it as well, and make sure on the check that it's the same. And we really need that. The following week, August 9th or so, we'll be giving out uniforms and some other things. And if the fee's not paid, then they can still get their picture taken, but they'll have to turn back in their jersey till they pay that team fee. As we go for just a little bit more information on this video, the coaching staff, as I said, my name is Howard Russ. I've been the head coach at Beavercreek since 2008. Before that, I did coach at Huber Heights Wayne. I was the head coach there from 97 to 2005. I'm in charge of both men and women on the team. I'm the overall kind of coordinator, but I have amazing coaches, and your son or daughter is going to have more of a coach that they go to for day-to-day things. I am the overall coach for all 150, 60, 70, however many athletes that we have. I am specifically in charge of what is called the female alpha unit, and that is the group that I work with, but I do work with all the groups and organize everything overall. James Weckesser, Jimmy Weckesser, has been a head coach at Centerville. He was there for a number of years. He is the head track coach. He's really the head of the men's units. And he works specifically more with usually the varsity athletes, but he is overall working with all the men's units and overall coaching as well. He's, as I said, a head coach. He's been a head coach at the cross country level and is currently the head track coach. My wife, Jamie Russ, is in charge of the Delta unit. It's one of our female units. Gabby Beal, who is a former athlete of mine. This will be her third year coaching with me. She's in charge of the other female unit, which is called the Gamma unit. I have Michael Stevenson and Wade Climby. They are the other two coaches who work with the men's units, and we'll be figuring out who they work with along with Coach Weckesser over the next few weeks. Michael was an athlete of mine, worked his way from a JV athlete to being one of the top varsity athletes. He's a great inspiration for the boys, and Coach Climby does an outstanding job with the men's units as well. We have an unbelievable coaching staff. So you will eventually find out what unit your son or daughter's in and find out who the name of their coach is. So if you have a question about something dealing with an injury or they're going to miss a conditioning, I would email them and then also CC myself in on that. But they're going to be directly working with them on a day-to-day basis. I will be an overall working with all the units, but they will have kind of more of a specific coach. I already mentioned the BCCPA is our parent organization. We would love for you to get involved. I've seen so many parents get involved already with the air show that we had go on this year. We will have our resolution run coming up. So those are our big fundraisers that we do. We also had our kids camp. And we ask if you get involved, if everyone does their part and does a couple things, then we don't ask the same 5 or 6 people to do everything. If you have questions, I know they'll be having a board meeting that you can get involved with. But I put their email down there. The bc-xc@sbcglobal.net is their email. And I will be sending out more information about the BCCPA. Beth Massey is our president, Pam Woodard's secretary, and so forth. So I don't want to go through all the names, but get involved with our parent organization. Big thing, if you can bring pasta a couple times to our pasta parties, which we'll be talking about later, those would be great. So really, that's the basic information about cross country. The next video I'm going to make will be about our schedule, practice, standards to make the team, and so forth. So this is the basic thing. So make sure our final forms are up to date. Make sure we have that physical involved. The team fee needs paid within the next week. Participation fee will be due towards more the end of August. So I'm so happy that your son or daughter has chosen to be part of our cross country family. And I look forward to meeting you as well and getting involved with those things as well. So this is part 1 of our videos, and I will be making, as I said, other videos for different parts on information that you need. Thanks, guys, and as always, Creek Pride.